What's going on, you guys, here on YouTube today? It's super different. I'm used to doing Instagram Live when I talk about different topics on my blog, but you guys voted and you said you wanted this video to be on YouTube, so that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. Let's jump right into it. We're talking today about godly friendship. And if you're not already following my blog, go ahead and do that. It's at Gabbing with Gaby on Facebook and Instagram. When I asked what you guys wanted this next topic to be about, I was pretty surprised, to be honest. A lot of the conversations that we have on the blog are about godly relationships. You know, we talk about a whole bunch of things with the focus being God, love, and life. But of course, being millennials and being people of God and young people of God, relationships and dating is always one of the popular ones. So when I found out and when I saw on my Instagram poll that a good 95% of you guys wanted a video on godly friendships, I was shocked because I'm so used to you guys wanting to talk about relationships. But what I wanted to bring up is you can't really have a successful godly relationship if you're not able and you don't understand how to have a godly friendship. The same principles that we do and we have and we follow in godly friendship trickles over to godly relationships. I want to talk about godly friendships on how we can get them and why we need them. But first, I want to bring up a few key points that you should be looking for in your current godly friendships, as well as any future godly friendships that you'll be a part of. So some of these things might sound a little cliche, but just stick with me because I want to break some of them down a little bit. So in a godly friend, these are things you should be looking for. They should always be encouraging you, strengthening you. They should be able to be fun, have fun around them as in a positive way. They should push you towards your goals. They should help you with their relationship with God, and they should support you. So first, I want to break down the key point that a godly friend needs to push you towards your goals. What's really crazy to me is that you can consider yourself my friend, but not know about the goals and the passions and the path that God has put me on in life. I think it's very important that for our friends, and we're not talking about acquaintances, high-bye relationships, but we're talking about people that we really consider friends and even family. We need to know, what kind of path is this person on? How can I help them in this path to the things that God has for them? So, in your godly friends, can you name your friend's goal? Your friend's biggest goal or biggest dream? Do you know what that is? And do your friends know that about you? Do your friends know that you want to open up a bakery one day or start an acting career? Do they know you want to come out with an album in 2 years or start a dance career? These are things that they think we know. Like, yeah, I know that's a hobby of theirs. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about what are the things that God has placed in your friend as their purpose. What is their purpose? We should definitely 100% know our friend's purpose and the destiny path that God has put them on. If you don't know that that's a goal of mine, how can you possibly push me towards that goal? Help me accomplish that goal in any way that you can? And how can you support me and encourage me without actually knowing the goals that I have? So this might sound cliche, but really stop and think. Your friends, the people that you consider friends, do you know their purpose, the things that God has placed in their hearts? Or do you just know some things that they're interested in? Do you know their hobbies or something that a goal that they may have for the end of 2018? These are things that we have to know about our godly friends, and that we should know about our godly friends, and our godly friends should know these things about us. So I'm not saying, oh my goodness, if you don't know every single detail about your friend's destiny path, you're just not a godly friend. But I am saying, if you are really that person's friend, and not only just their friend, but a godly friend that's there to push them towards the things of God, this is something that you should know about them, so that you can properly pray, support them, encourage them, and push them towards this goal. But next I want to talk about some things that we need to recognize as unhealthy friendships. Unhealthy friendships. definitely can happen even if you guys are both believers. You could both be believers all your lives and be pastors' kids and be, serving in your church and whatever the case may be, but still not have a healthy friendship. So let's talk about it. Some points that we want to kind of avoid, and some characteristics, that we want to avoid and recognize as unhealthy characteristics in a friendship. Jealousy. Just straight up jealousy. I mean, we've experienced this before, and we can kind of recognize these things, but do you get jealous of them? Are they jealous of you? It's a lot, and it can really be an eye-opener to see, like, yeah, I do feel like when I do new stuff and when I, branch out, or when I do this or that, like, I don't feel like I have their support all the time. Like, I feel like sometimes they do support me, other times they don't, and I don't know if it's a jealousy thing. These are things that we have to definitely evaluate and ask ourselves, is this a godly friendship or is this an unhealthy friendship? For example, you guys know that I launched, I think almost 2 months ago, I launched Gabbing with Gaby Shops, a portion of my blog where I'm going to be coming out with apparel. And I felt that I could definitely count on certain people's support in this new journey. And don't get me wrong, I've literally almost sold over 200 shirts. It's crazy the journey that God has taken this whole thing on. But I still just realized the people that didn't support me and the people that I did consider friends. And I was like, wow, that's like so weird that they, didn't really say anything about the launch, or they didn't purchase one, or just kind of acted as if it didn't happen. And for me, it was such a big step in the blog and such a pivotal moment for me. It was kind of hurtful to see them not be excited for a new journey that God is taking me on. These are things that we also have to be aware of. So I'm not saying if you didn't buy a shirt, you're not my friend. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying we have to recognize that when God is pushing us to do something different in our lives and advancing us and just taking us on a new journey, that is a time where we really need to start evaluating our friendships. We know when somebody supports us, and we know when somebody doesn't support us. When God is doing something in your life and your friend acts as if nothing new is happening for you, it's a red flag, and we have to adjust accordingly. We have to adjust ourselves as well. We call people our friends. We call them our family. But when they are going on this new journey, or God is blessing them, or, something pivotal is happening in their lives, this should be an opportunity as a godly friend that we go bananas with our support. I don't know that you can consider somebody your friend. I'm not talking about acquaintance. I'm talking about your friend. And when they do something and they really are moving forward and progressing and changing and developing, that you're not happy for them. But what I want to challenge you to do in your godly friendships, if you do feel that this is you're kind of feeling that this is some kind of friendships that you have, to begin to actually communicate first. Sometimes your friends don't know. They just may not know. They may not know that this is something that's important to you. They may not know that you really need or want their support. Sometimes in friendships and in relationships, we do have to be kind of vulnerable. If you consider them your actual friend, you should be able to go to them and say, hey, I just got this promotion on my job and I'm super excited, and I just kind of feel like, I don't have that much support from you, and I just wanted to kind of bring it up to you and just let you know how I'm feeling about this, or whatever way is best for you, whatever way that is to communicate. But we do have to allow people the chance to change. We can't just say, you didn't change, so I'm out. But we actually have to give them the opportunity and make them aware that a change is something that we want to see. I want to talk about issues in friendships. We definitely have these. Just like, in a regular relationship, issues may come up. It's going to happen. We're human. We might not say everything the best way that we should. They might not have said everything the best way that they should. We might be moody today. We might be tired. It just could be a whole bunch of things that can come into play for just an issue happening in the friendship. And I want to first let you know of a few things that are important to overcoming those things, especially when we're talking about godly friendships. In a godly friendship, We have to recognize and understand after an issue occurs what we need to do. And the only way that we can really determine what we need to do, not what we want to do, but what we need to do pertaining to the friendship, is to go to God about it. If you're facing a problem or an issue with your friend, it could be something small or something big, but we need to go to God about the decision that we need to make moving forward. So God will begin to reveal to you, is this a healthy friendship where you're human, you made a mistake, they made a mistake, move forward, take the time that you need, and continue the friendship? Or is God telling you and revealing to you, this was a really big red flag, and it's time to move on to this opposite direction? Like I said, not mean cutting off season, but it's time to move on in this and to really just kind of pull back the friendship and not have the friendship the way that it was. God will be the one that can really help you and determine what you should do. So we can't operate on our own emotions, especially when dealing with a problem. Because a lot of times when there's a problem in a friendship or a relationship, you care about it, right? You care, your emotions are involved in it, you might be mad, upset, whatever it may be, and that's really not the best time to make a decision, especially pertaining to somebody that you consider a godly friend. But it's even more important to go to God when we're more in an emotional state or in a place where we could make a hasty decision based on the emotions that we're feeling, not based on the wisdom that God is trying to give us. So I really just wanted to talk about godly friendships today. I really want to become a better friend myself, and just continue to be a friend that I think that God wants us to be. God designed friendships for us. He says that friendships are good in His Word, and talks about how we need friends, and that we should, no man should be an island, but that friends are people in relationships that God encourages us to be in. But it's the godly kind that He wants us to be in, the kind where they encourage us, they push us towards the things of God, they support us in our goals. They're able to have fun with us in a positive way. Those are the kind of friendship that God has designed for us, and those are the kinds of friends that we should challenge ourselves to be, and also challenge our friends to be for us. We need godly friendships. Godly friendships do exist. Guys, this is all that I had to talk about today, godly friendships, and to really just begin to give you guys the points that I know are important in godly friendships, and also the things that we need to recognize in friendships that may not be so good for us. If you're not already, again, make sure you follow my blog on Facebook and Instagram, Gabbing with Gaby. Share this video with your friends. Tag a godly friend that you have. Be encouraged that God has godly people around us that will be and can be godly friends to us. All we have to do is open up and start to develop into the person that other people would want to be friends with. Other than that, guys, if you haven't gotten your Nothing But the Blood t-shirt, you're slacking. T-shirt is fire. Almost 200 sold. Getting up there in that number. If you haven't bought yours, the link is in the description. Click on that. Go ahead and buy one for you and your friend. You know what? Buy a shirt for you and your friend. If you buy a shirt for your friend, you're going to have a best friend, because they're going to say, wow, this person has really good style and taste, and I just need to be their friend. You know what? If you're looking for a godly friend, what you need to do is buy 20 shirts. No, I'm just kidding. But really, buy a shirt. The link is in the description. Make sure you check my other videos out. I have some videos talking about sex. I have videos with Essence and Vance Kirkwood talking about relationships from a married point of view, giving us some relationship advice and answering some questions. I have an intentional podcast and just so much going on the YouTube page already. So make sure you check out the other videos. Thank you so much for watching. Other than that, see you guys in the next video.